Alrighty then, let me see here. Oops, let me fix this crazy. Do this. I'm gonna be this guy right here. This dude. Looks good. Let me get my funky self out the way. Maybe put me over here. There we go. All right, so badass atmospheres. Well, let's start from scratch. And here's what's cool, right, with this kind of stuff. Let me, I don't know why. It's allergy season is actually why. I've got the nose runniness, the sneezes, and all that stuff. So let's start with a random sound. Let's see what would smoke sound like, right? And so let's see. Let's put in an audio track. So Control T, and I will record whoosh in the key of whoosh. All right. So microphone check, test 1 2 3. Mic check, test 1 2 and 3. And here we go. Oh shit! I don't even think I had the. There we go. Let's try that one more time. Did I record anything at all? Is it ultra low audio? Is that what's going on? Yeah, it's fucking ultra low audio. Okay. Well, whatever. I can raise the audio. So there we go. That's about it. Let's just stretch that out, right? Let's do auto. Let's take the record off. And since this has been warped, I'll just go ahead and stretch it out by holding down shift, grabbing the end of the clip, and we'll stretch it out to a 4-bar loop. I'll do this, that, and this again, and this again. Oops. Yeah, so that looks good. All right, so let's hear the stupid noise that I just made. What does it sound like? Let me turn off the mic. All right, so what I just did and then realized that my mic was off when I was explaining it was I took the flag, which is the start point, right, of the audio clip, the waveform. Clip, see? Clip gain. Uh-oh, now you just learned something. Pay attention. And I made it start at as close to the zero crossing as I could, and look at that, and I'm actually off. So I'm going to pull it over to the zero crossing right about there. There we go. And then I'm going to consolidate this one more time by hitting J, And let me zoom in, and this should be at the zero crossing. Pretty close, not quite. Not quite. So if this was horseshoes or hand grenades, I would have got first place. But this is not. This is audio engineering, sound designing. Let's perfect. There we go. Let's see what we get now. Holy macaroni. It is just giving me problem after problem. Since it keeps doing that, we'll do this and we'll see what we get. All right. So let's see what we get. Did I solve the problem? And fucking A. Look at that. The zero crossing point. So that's good. That's what I'm going for. And in case I want to make a loop, let me make sure this is at the... Oh, it's close enough. All right, cool. And so, since this is going to be just a smidge shorter... Oh, it's not, but it actually is. You just can't really see it. So I'm going to grab the end of the clip. I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to pull it over, just like that. And then Control-J one more time. Consolidate. And now we've got this goofy sound right here. Okay, and that's just my voice, obviously. So now let's granulize the shit out of it. And so you're probably thinking, oh yeah, there you grab the grain delay. Well, first I like to come in here to textures mode and play with the grain over here. I take the flux down all the way and maybe drop it an octave. I'll go ahead and shift arrow key down to drop it 12 steps, whole steps, which is an octave or a register. And let's give it some rhythmicness, right? So let's even go to here, and it doesn't have to be perfect for this part because we want a little bit of slop, right? Because we want a little bit of groove. And let's line this section up with the second bar. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, all right? Type of deal. So I can come back here to the end of the clip one more time and put a warp marker, and then I'll just drag it out over to here and see what we got with it dropped down an octave in grain mode, aka texture mode, and let's see what we get. Now watch down here to the left in the clip. I'm going to play with the grain size, right? And you'll notice that it does something cool. Obviously, it alters the grain size, right? AKA like it's similar to like bit crushing or whatever, but it's not quite. It's different. It's grain, right? It's the grain size of the waveform. So is it blocky? Is it smooth? But you'll notice that it also alters the pitch. Pay attention. Let's loop this little section right here so that it's more dramatic. Let's see here. We'll come over to here and then do something like that. So this is a poor example, but in a lot of waveforms, when you mess with the grain size, you're actually altering the pitch as well. So let me get it somewhere where I like it. Let me do just this little loop here, and let's find something kind of trippy and creepy, right? I like that probably the best, and I'm going to drop it another octave and then start messing with that grain size and see what we get. I'm going to drop it another octave and mess with the grain size. Okay, I don't like it there. So right about there, that sounds cool. I'm going to go ahead and consolidate that. And this is where the fun begins, the audio sorcery. Although I'm against sorcery, but still, here we go. Hopefully you don't hear an echo. If you do, leave a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I can't read them. I get one viewer sometimes. If I'm having a super popular live stream, I'll have a viewer in here. But I'll read it afterwards. If you're hearing an echo, let me know, and then from now on, I'll do better at muting the mic mute, right? Or just fucking put on headphones, but I don't want to do that because this is my mixing spot. And I mix music in this area. I don't mix music on my headphones, but I do check the music on my headphones, if that makes sense. All right. So we got this. Cool. All right, let's do something even cooler. And let's add a reverb first. Of course, you would add a reverb. And which reverb you use is up to you. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to keep it simple. I will not grab my favorite paid plugins, and I'm just going to slap an Ableton Live reverb on here. I'm going to take the reflection down. I'm going to raise the diffuse, and we'll keep the dry wet at 50%. Well, we'll put it at 30%. There we go. And let's see what we get. So that sounds cool, right? And so you could be done right there. You could say, oh, that's fucking cool, man. That's a cool atmosphere. And it is. It's a cool atmosphere. Let me look at my limiter real quick. Okay, we're all in the good. My gain staging looks great. I'm going to go ahead and lower this decay time to, I don't know, half a second. Let's do, well, how do I do that? 0.5? Is that what I would do? No. So this is 1,000, 1 millisecond, so we'll go 500. Okay, 500 milliseconds, that's half a second. And we'll go ahead and, I'll go ahead and raise the dry wet all the way up to wet. Now, you notice what happened there? Because I'm in diffusion, 100% diffusion mode, at 100% wet, the sound almost vanishes, right? I have to actually introduce reflections I said diffusion mode. Since I have 100% wet diffusion activated here on the reverb, and the reflections are minus 30 decibels, which is almost nothing, it sounds like the reverb isn't doing anything. You'll notice that when I bring in the reflections, the reverb will step back up. But I want to avoid the reflections. So I want to play with the decay time as a dry wet. Okay, so we'll do 2,500, which is 2.5 seconds. And that sounds cool. And then I'll do 50% wet. And we get this. All right, cool. So now what's going on here is this is messing with the stereo information. And as a matter of fact, since it's 50% wet, I'll grab a utility, actually put it in front of the plugin and have it in mono. So this makes, without the plugin on, this makes the original signal right there, right down the center. And with reverb on, we get some side information. And that's what I want. And why? Because I want to process it later. I want to be able to process the side channels separately with MSEQ, mid-side EQ, process the middle channels separately depending on what kind of a track it goes into. But then now let's do some vocal goodness. And here's what I mean by that. Now let's grab a delay. And so this is 174 BPM. The track is in 174 BPM. So we're going to time it to the track, so that if I drop it into another track and I warp it to the time signature of the other track, the tempo of the delay after the reverb, right? Because that's what you do, right? Oh, well, maybe it's not what you do, but that's what I do. Sometimes I do it the other way around, but I've found that I was just being stupid, and You can't really hear the pre-delay or the delay before the reverb, but you can hear it after the reverb. Anyways, so when you drop it into another track, it will beat align, tempo sync, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Pardon my French. Oui, monsieur. To the other track. All right, so let's see here. Let's find a delay. And once again, we'll keep it all stock as a proof of concept that it doesn't matter if you got stock shit or you got paid shit. If you know how to use the stuff you got, that's what actually matters. I'll turn this EQ filter off so that I can filter it on my own to taste later on. And I'm going to do ping pong because that's what I like. You can do whatever you want. And we're going to keep it at sync to tempo because of what I just said. Because I'm going to make this atmosphere and then I'm going to export it into my atmospheres folder so that I have a sample that I made that I can grab that'll BPM tempo sync, right? So let's hear this. And now I'm just going to keep it at 2. Okay, I like that. I like that amount of feedback. And as a matter of fact, what I like even more, I'm thinking, is this right here. And especially since we're in textures mode, this is going to give some crazy type of granulation. I think I like that. And I'm going to go back into textures mode and see if I can come up with some crazy stuff since I just stretched the sample out. You can already hear it. You already hear it. It's a brrr, that robotic metallic slap. You can already hear it. And that's what I'm going for. All right, so now is a good example. You see me messing with the grain size. Pay attention to the audio. The audio pitch is actually going to change. If you were here when I started the stream, my no viewers, you will have noticed that the first thing I said is when you alter the grain size, you will alter the pitch of the sample for some sounds. Well, this is one of those sounds. Now that we've processed the living dog, how do you say this for kid-friendly? We've processed the dog snot out of it. Then you'll see that the grain size actually affects the pitch. And here we go. So let me alter the grain size. I like that a lot. And because I stretched the sample, I'm going to go ahead and consolidate the whole thing in case I want to shrink the sample back down for something else later. And now I'm going to put it back into grains modes. Actually, I did that wrong. I'm going to freeze and flatten. So I'm going to bake everything in. So now everything down here, once I flatten, is going to be baked into the track. I wish there was a shortcut for flatten, but I understand why there's not. Okay, so now everything's baked into the track. I'm going to go back into grains mode once again, which is not grains mode, it's textures mode. And turn the fluctuation down and loop this section and see what I got. I love it. That sounds sick. I'm going to go ahead and consolidate this. And believe it or not, I'm going to do the same thing. So now, well, actually, I'm not going to do the same thing. Now I'm going to go into my audio effects rack, and I'm going to find stuff that shouldn't work, right? So let's maybe we'll put auto pan on here, and this is something cool you can do with auto pan. You can raise the amount, you can bring the phase down to 0, and you create almost like a little LFO. Here's what I mean. We'll go ahead and put it into sync to tempo mode, obviously, because I want to use this in other projects. And so the amount of dry wet becomes like an LFO. Here's what I mean. I actually like that. And let's go into an EQ here. Actually, let's do MSED. Let's find MSED. Where you at? Reference tools. There you go. I want to see if I have it like this, if I still have mid information. Okay. So let's get all high tech with it, right? So let's go ahead and duplicate this sample, and we'll call this the sides. And we'll call this the center image, which is basically mids. So I don't know why I called it center. This one, okay, mid image, we're going to take the side all the way down. And this one, the side image, we're going to take the mid frequency all the way down. And I'm only going to have this oscillator on the side images. So the mid image here, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to go ahead and group this. Okay. And then I'm going to insert an audio track. And I'm going to resample the sound. I'm going to lower everything by 3 dB. And so that way I don't clip out. Oops. On the group channel, I'm going to lower it by 3 dB. And then I will resample this by hitting Control L to loop it. We'll put a punch out here. And yeah, set this to resample mode, or external, not external in, but for group. There we go, for group. We'll set this to in. We'll mute this channel. We'll hit record, and beautiful. All right, so we can get rid of this. Now I've got everything that I want. I'll go ahead and consolidate this. Oops, I've got everything that I want. I've got the mid information all solid, right? So when I go into mid mode, it's going to be solid. Only the sides are fluttering, so that's kind of cool. We'll go ahead and consolidate this so that I can normalize it. And there's my normalized sample. I'll consolidate it one more time. Now, if you look at the waveform, you got this shit going on above, you got this shit going on below, and there is an easy way to do this, and then a hard way. I just don't remember it. I haven't done this in a while, but since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and take the time to actually make this sample fucking high quality, if that's even a thing. If it sounds good, it's good, by the way. I learned that from Produce Like a Pro's YouTube channel from Warren Heward. He's got a t-shirt that says, if it sounds good, it's good. And he's absolutely freaking right. Although there are things like, are you in a good listening environment? Do you have the ability to distinguish between high quality audio and low quality audio? Right? And if the first two questions are answered with a yes, then if it sounds good, it's good. All right, so let me see if I can remember how to fix the rectification error here. Let's see, how do I do it? There's a lot more smarter people out here in the mixing world than I am, but I've found that there's a cool free plugin called Fire. It is a saturator that has a rectification setting, and that a lot of times fixes the issue. So I like to come in here, we'll take the drive, keep the drive all the way down, and we'll go into the rectification setting, and I will grab an oscillator like Psyscope, P-S-Y-S-C-O-P-E. There we go. We'll grab Psyscope, throw it on here, and I will loop this section with Fire deactivated and see what kind of stuff I can see. Okay, so that's 1 2 bars. So we'll go in here and do, 2 bars. So I should get the same image that I see on the screen here. That strange above and below type jam. There we go. Now I'm going to turn on Fire and see if I can use its rectifier, right, and to fix the problem here without destroying the sound. A lot of times it destroys the sound, and there's another way to do it. I think it's with, I just figured I'd take the time to like show you that this stuff even exists, and you're probably wondering, well, why does it fucking matter? Well, it matters because like when you're further down in the production chain, you're going to come across some weird issue with compressing or limiting, and you're going to be like, why does it sound all fucking clippy and fuzzy and just basically shitty? And you're like, I don't understand. Like, I'm doing everything right except for this one sample doesn't sound right. Well, sometimes it could be this. That's my technical definition of it looks weird, let's fix the way it looks. So, like I said, there's a lot of people that know a lot more than me. I'm at the point where I know that this matters later on in the chain. Let's see if we can fix it with this goofy ass shit right here. All right, so this is what we're looking at. We're looking at this first section, and we're looking at the rest of the section. We're trying to get the top and the bottom waveform to actually balance out. That's what it is. It's phase issues. That's what it is. It could potentially cancel out some shit later. That's really what it boils down to. All right, so let's play this and try to fix it. What the fuck? It's not doing anything. Oh, I guess you have to have it on for it to work. Let's try that again. Actually, that's interesting. Oh, there we go. Oops. All right, so if you listen critically, you'll hear that we've introduced some strange type of distortion. I don't know if I like it yet. I'm going to play it one more time. I'm going to mess with the mix knob here and see if I actually like it. Let's see. You know what? That actually works. I'm gonna go ahead and freeze and flatten, or yeah, freeze and flatten that. Then I'll consolidate it and bring it back up to the loud level. And so actually here, let me duplicate this, and so you can see what I'm talking about once we're done. So we'll freeze this one. There we go. Flatten it. And oh shit. Let's see. Did all I do is make it quieter? Let's consolidate one more time and bring it to 0. Did I just make it quieter is all, and still have the same issue? Looks a little bit better. I think that's cool. Yeah, I think that's cool. All right, so I got this now. So, what do you think I'm going to do? Yeah, you guessed it. I'm going to put it back into textures mode. And this time I'm going to drop the octave, 1 octave, and mess with the grain size. I'm going to take the fluctuation all the way down. I don't like the random flux shit. I think right where it's at came out good. So, yeah, I think right there is great. So we got a crazy little jam. I'm going to go ahead forward stop for the transients in beats mode. And right here we've got, let me do this one more time. All right, here we've got a sample now that's in beats mode that we could maybe tempo, it's already tempo sunk, right? But maybe we could tempo sync it more in beats mode. Like we can make eighth notes, we can mess with the, this is essentially like a transient shaper here, this down here. Especially when it's in this mode, a forward stop. That means plays a sample, it's done, or it plays, what is it? There's a word for it in the clip, and then I don't know the word, but it plays it, it moves on to the next one, whereas this one plays it twice, this one plays it, and then reverses while it's waiting to catch up to the next sample. And so when you're in this mode, this kind of works like a transient shaper, where you can reduce the sustain. You can't really raise the attack, but you can reduce the sustain, which lowers the overall signal, which you can consolidate later, and just raise the overall signal, which is kind of like increasing the attack size or attack amount. But what you can't do with the transient shaper is because there's only like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. There's these random transients. You can't come in here and do what I'm about to do with a transient shaper. But in the clips mode of Ableton Live, every eighth note, according to the tempo of the track, I can reduce the sustain of the sound, and I'll show you what I mean. Now you'll notice that it sounds like it's quieter because it is, so I can prove this out. Let me duplicate it because I like this one. I'm going to go ahead and export this entire one real quick. Oops, shit. Anyways, I'll export everything later off camera, I suppose. So you'll note, so it sounded quieter, and then you'll notice here, look, when I consolidated it, it is quieter. It's almost 2 dBs quieter. So I'll make this 0. And then consolidate it again. And now it should be the same perceived loudness. It might be perceived as quieter because we took out pieces of the audio. Right? We took out those sustains after the 1 and 2 and 3 and, right? So 1 remove and 2 remove and, right? Type thing. Or 1 remove and remove, 2 remove and remove, right? The sustain. So here's the before. Oops. Well, you get the point. We don't have to play the before. Let me get in here real quick and bring this back to 100% and put this on transients, and I'm just going to put it in textures mode, and I am going to put it in my atmospheres before I forget. Let's see here, atmospheres, Atmos. So I've created this atmospheric sound. I'm going to drag it into atmospheres, and there I go. I don't know, I can call it U. All right, there we go. Now U, short for YouTube. And then we got this now, which, right, I hope you get the point. Like, if you want to scroll off my no viewers that happen to come in here at this moment, I don't blame you, because now it's just a matter of finding audio effects to basically just tweak the shit out of the audio effects, right, to get some weird sounds. Now I did that by ear. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but basically I've done this enough. I don't know how to I've just done it enough to know that, okay, that sounds pretty good. Let's go with that. And here's what's cool, right? So a lot of people don't realize this. So if you hear that and you're like, oh man, I don't like that distortion, you can actually remove the distortion. You can correct the distortion with an EQ. Right? So if I come in here and I say I don't like this, which I actually think sounds fucking awesome, by the way. But let's say I don't like that. I can come in here with this EQ and I can actually remove that. Let's say just that fits in the track that you're working on, right? But anyways, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and drop this sample in into my atmospheres real quick, and then I'll play with it some more. And we'll call this one U2, right? There we go. But anyhow, let's get back over to here. So if it's too rhythmic, right, you can smooth it out with an EQ or not EQ, but with with maybe even some overdrive and some reverb, right? And you're probably thinking, well, it's all fucking overdriven enough. It's true, it is. It's pretty overdriven. The reason I put that erosion in there, just so you know, is so that later, if I want to, as you just heard, right? If I want to, I could crisp it up, right? And the reason I have MS mode when I made the sample, so if I just wanted to crisp up the sides, I could do that too, right? Let's see the side information. And vice versa, right? And so that's why it's important that when, at least for me, I don't know about you, for me, when I create a sample, that I make sure it's mono and side information just the way I want it before I even start. And I'll tell you the shortcut to how to get there rapidly. There's no shortcut. You just have to spend years doing this. And that's the shortcut. Actually take the time and effort to sit down and learn how to do this stuff. That's the real shortcut. Believe it or not. But anyways, like I was saying earlier, if you want to smooth out the sound, you already know that all you have to do is grab a reverb and slap a reverb on, because a reverb makes everything smooth. And if you really want to smooth it out, you take the reflections down, right? So then you get something like... And you're probably like, well, it's still too rhythmic. Well, check it out. Did you ever think that you can actually duplicate the reverb? But it's still too rhythmic. Did you ever think you can actually triplicate the reverb? Oh. My goodness, imagine that. Triplicated reverb. My goodness, imagine that. Triplicated reverb flattened into one sample that you can now... You ready for this? You ready for this? Do I dare say it? For this musical alchemy, right? Anyways, you can now process the grain size. Dun da da da. And here you go. can now transpose this down if I want. Transpose it up. I like that. That's fucking badass if you ask me. And it sounds like it would be a good top for some kind of like a bass, right? Holy shit, robotic, metallic, and oh my fuckola, pardon my French, I bet if you mixed it with some fucking drums, I bet that if you mixed it with some drums, that shit might immediately start sounding badass. But let's find out. Let's test the concept. Oh, that's a cool beat for this too. Yeah, and I would never pick a beat like this normally, but this actually seems like it would probably be good for this. Actually, that beat does suck. Ooh, that's sick. I like that one. And there you have it, folks. The sky's the freaking limit. Let me call this U3. Why not? Yeah, U3. I like it. You'll notice along the way I've been normalizing these samples. Why is that? Go ahead. Go ahead and guess, my no viewers. It's because loudness is king, and I don't care what anybody says. Psychoacoustic effect on the psychology of man. We hear it louder, we think it's better. I like that. That's got a little bit of a groove to it. And yeah, guess what? It's not perfect. But whoa, is me, the imperfect person, who can't make a perfect loop recording. Let's see, we'll go to 30 seconds mode and quantize this and see where it all lands. Oh shit, didn't land anywhere. But I'll do this. That's for damn sure. Okay, there we go. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's close. And ooh, that's super close. Let's see what I come up with. Let's see if this is just RETURD or not. Yeah, that's not cool. I think I thunk something, and I think I thunk that right there. It might have been that. I think I thunk this right here. And I thunk that right there. Yeah, I'm getting all fucking Cajun with it. You know what's so silly is that I don't think I thought any of that shit. I think I thought right there. Why not? Right? Why not? Why not just make something? I mean, why not? Might as well. I've come this far. I don't have to work until 5 p.m., so why not? What is this? What is that? Holy fucking shit. Let's not do that. Let's do that and then freeze it. And then consolidate it. And then normalize it. And then do that again. Why? Because I want it to be vicious. And you'll say, what is what that I just did? Well, if you back up the video, my no viewers, you will notice that I went from this mode to that mode. Why? Why not? Maybe I can do quarter notes, right? Maybe 8 notes. Maybe 16th. All right, you ready for it to get real stupid? Check this out. I'll raise it up even another octave. You ready for the dumbness, right? Prepare yourself for the dumbness. All right, check this out. So we'll go ahead and consolidate this now. Don't even listen to it, right? This is how dumb it's going to get. We'll go ahead and loop it, and then I'll duplicate it. What the fuck is going on here? What's wrong with this guy? I mean, he can't make music for shit. He's going to have to go like to some kind of school, some kind of like MIT of mix engineers, the Berkeley Institute for Music, right? He's going to have to go there. He's going to have to get all freaking skilled up and get some kind of a certificate. Maybe, maybe not. You never know. Let's see what I can do. What the fuck? Holy motherfucker! What the fuck? Oh shit, I'm hearing some OTT, of course, because that's what you do. But more than that, I'm hearing like a disperser. So since I've created a disperser, since I've created a disperser rack, my no viewers, I'm just going to grab that because it's got an OTT built right into it. Unfucking believable. Or as Jesse Lee Peterson says, amazing. Trav disperser. Maybe I put Trav disperser on here and see what I can come up with. Holy fuck. That sounds like a wavetable to me, but I mean, what would I know? Being all like amateur and stuff. What would I know about this artifact creation? I mean, what would I know? This old guy. I mean, I got to this age by being, I guess, just lucky. Now, guess what else I did by just being lucky? I thought, well, maybe I should group this and resample it. Holy moly. Could that be an idea? Could that actually be a thing that I could do? What is that group? Is that group 6? So we'll go like this. Instead of external in, we'll go group 6. Holy shit. Group 6. We'll turn off that. We'll turn on that. We'll go like this and that. And then we'll go like this. And we'll go, how loud was it above 0? So it was 5, almost 6 dB above 0. So let me go back to group 6 and go minus 6 dB. Holy shit, you're probably thinking, we don't need to do that. It's 32-bit floating point. Well, guess what? It is good. It is good practice to do that. Let's try it again. Holy shit, now let's see where we're at now. Minus 0.14. Amazing. So I can get rid of this, can't I? Oh my gosh, now do I have a sample? Do I have an actual sample here? And then this. Oh, and then that. And then let's see what we got. Yeah, I like it. And it doesn't mix, right? So here's what I'm not doing. I'm not mixing. I'm just making cool sounds, if that makes sense. I made this cool sound. I made, not really. I didn't make this cool sound. I guess Raw Tech made this cool sound. Which is very Portishead-esque. And then I made this cool sound. And you're probably thinking, well, fuck, dude, now you're stuck with the sample. Well, am I stuck with the sample? Is that really what's going on? Huh? Imagine that. Not stuck with the sample anymore. Holy shit. Like I could even go like this. Bye-bye. And now what am I stuck with? I mean, what am I stuck with? What's going on here? What am I stuck with here? What is this? Is this the sample? Anyways, let's find something good. loop this. All right, so I don't like this whole fucking velocity sensation type shit. Let's fix the velocity. There we go. That's kind of cool. Now you can hear the conflict, right? So I want to stay out of my mixer mode, and I just want to do sound design mode. Let's see, maybe we can make a chord. No, that chord sucks ass. Let's see, maybe we can make a chord? All right, those are not good chords. Let's try anyways. Let me try anyways. Oh, that's fucking sick right there. Now that I like. That I like a whole lot. This I'm liking. Maybe I take the limiter off. Brace yourself. It sounds even good with the limiter. I mean, what the fuck is that? I hear the birds outside in the bird's nest, and they even like it. I hear them tweeting and chirping. They're like, yup, I like it. So I'll take that as a sign that this beat that I didn't even mean to make is just the introduction. I like that. I like that a whole lot. And then maybe I, because nobody's fucking here, by the way. And sometimes I don't even get any views at all. So maybe I, because I don't give a shit if you like my video or not, or if it's all full of alchemical destruction or artifacts, or what's the other guy? What's the other fucking guy? And I think you guys' channels are cool, by the way. Anyhow, what's the other guy? What's the other fucking guy? He makes good videos also. You guys make good videos too. What's his name? The sippy fucking, he drinks the coffee. I'm not talking about the artifact videos. I'm talking about the, what is his name? He has the cool plug-in, the UVI plugins. Venus Theory. There we go. Yeah, he makes some cool videos too. Let's see here. I think I need to change the beat. I need to go into my beats. I think I need to do King Break, maybe? Did I make a... beat called... Yeah, I made a beat called King Break. Let's see if it's any good or if it's just a piece of shit. Let's see if my beats suck compared to the noise design beats. Oh, shit. Sounds like my beats are halfway decent. All right. Let's try this one. It's a little bit punchier, it seems like. No, I want a break. I want like an ultra break. Let's do some Gydra ultra break. Ultra break. There we go. This one sounds cool. Let's do this one. Oh, I like this one way better. So this is a timeless break right here. Like, this is one of my favorites, probably. My favorites. Why can't I fucking speak, dude? What am I, a stroke victim? All right. Oops, what am I doing? So beats are always red, for me anyways. And so this is an atmosphere, so we'll color it like a light color, like happy blue. Let's try that. Yeah, I like that one. That is the wrong bass line for a drop. Let's see. Let's get a sick bass in here. Let's bite off somebody else's bass. All right, so let's see. Control T. Let's do I don't know if I perfected it or not. There's a really cool bass in this song that's illegal to play in the United States. I don't know if I actually got it or not. Let me see if I recreated it or not. Let me open up Vital, because it's easy, and I've spent the most time working in Vital. Although I do have a cool other synth that I could look up. Let me search for Nobody. See if I actually got it or not. No, I don't have it. Huh. Oh well, I just guess I'll go to my favorites then, I guess. Where's Vital at? There you are. No. I like that one a lot. Okay, so this is cool. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this and make an intro. There we go. And then maybe have this for the... And then I'm thinking maybe bring this funky thing in here again. So we got something like... Wait a minute. Is this E? So that's D. That's F. That's C. Okay, Google, what are the notes in E minor? So it's only, yeah, so I'm in E. All right, so I'm in E minor, so that's cool. Cool, E minor will do it. Let's make sure there's no, so the only sharp is F. Let's do G instead of, there we go. And then, and this is F, we'll do F sharp. That way we can, I'll stay in the key of E minor at that point. That was retarded. I don't like what I just did, so I'm not gonna do that. There we go. I like that. That sounds cool. And let me just duplicate this section here. Okay, and then I'll put this over here, but on a different track. Da 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 da. And then I'll get rid of this and get rid of that. And then in here, I'll just turn off the low frequencies. And so then we get something like this. Okay, and this is not sunk. Let's do this. There we go. Now that should work. Okay, that's still not sunk up. Oops. There we go. And then this right here, maybe I'll get rid of the low and mid frequencies. You know what? I'm going to change these mid frequencies. Let me loop this intro section here. Anyways, I'm going to start spacing out here. It's already been well over 30 minutes, probably an hour and 30 minutes. And I got a rule that I don't like to follow, which is mix for 30 minutes max, take a fucking break. 30 minutes, take a break. 30 minutes, take a break. And I hate to follow that rule, but it's an important rule. Keep up the good work, you guys. Keep it fun. God bless you. I'm out of here.